Hey YouTube fam, this is your suburban garden permaculture style guy, and I just wanted to give you a quick update of where we're at on the backyard permaculture orchard, homestead in the middle of the city, basically. Yeah. So, the machine, the monster, has had an upgrade in the last couple of days. It wasn't enough space for us to work with, so we had to expand it. Oh, the baby chickens we got a while back are turning into little monsters. Hi, little baby chickens. We have hand raised them, so they're pretty close to tame. They're not tame, but they're pretty close to tame. Oh, baby, let me touch her. Oh, she's so sweet. But anyway, I hate being cute. Anyway, they looking good. Everything's looking good there. So the thing where my wife and I sat down, and she did most of it. I did the beginnings of it. Separated all those seedlings that we showed you guys in like February. This is still those plants. This is still those plants. All those, a lot of it was in a seed plug tray, and it was just overseeded, and then a whole bunch of 6-packs way overseeded. And she sat down and we separated them all into individual plants, and this is still those plants. So there were some romaine lettuces, some iceberg lettuce, some other kind of lettuce, but these two look very much the same. I'm not even sure. At this point, we're not going to plant them in the ground, I don't think. I think it's getting too warm. I'm just going to keep growing them in these trays, hit them with a little soluble fertilizer every now and then, keep them green. And we're going to harvest off these tomorrow for the first time. And again, this is really late in the year for these plants to just be this big. I get it. But some things got big fast, some things didn't. I don't know. It was just a weird situation. The dinosaur kales are looking really good. This is our closest to looking like a dinosaur kale guy we got. And you can see, look at that, there's a little dinosaur kale. Oh my goodness, right? So it has been blowing winds like crazy in this area for the last 4 days. This is the first time it's been relatively calm in a while. As promised, the sunflowers are starting to come up. Hope that's focusing, yeah. Those are all sunflower patches right through there. And yeah, they're coming up. Haven't mowed any patterns into everything yet, because I'm kind of letting everything kind of get up so I can see where it's at. Still liking this fence thing we're doing. I still haven't tightened it up or finished it off. But I still liking this a lot. Once the baby chickens are brooded and they're out of here, that'll be good. But the machine is doing great. We've actually planted some of the tomatoes and stuff, all the biggest stuff. This is the next biggest stuff. As you can see, we got flowers on stuff. I believe it's focusing. No. Why do you fight me, phone? Help me out. There we go. All right, there you go, flowers. So everything's looking good. So we just started some new seedlings in the last 2 weeks. We hadn't started seeds in like 2 months. All this stuff is really from January, February, peppers and everything. So everything is coming up. Again, she's planting in 6-packs, and when multiple seeds come up, then she sits down and breaks them up and repots them one at a time, you guys. We did not plant one seed perfectly in the middle of all these pots, and that's how they just grew like that, all magical. No, the wife sat there and did that. This was 4 seedlings in the bottom of a 2-liter container, like these guys over here. I'm trying not to shake the camera. I know I'm bad about the camera. Like these guys. So 4 honeydews sprouted up in those, and the roots got big really fast, so she popped them apart and separated them. But oregano and peppermint, and I think there's some thyme in there somewhere too. Little spindly plants that don't grow real robustly for me so far. She started a lot of flowers. I think these are zinnias. She started some lupines, which I think is also called foxglove. I don't know that for sure. She separated a lot of dill. She tried to make some multiple plantings on some dill, just experimenting with some of the weaker plants of the clumps she was separating. So this was some leftover plant material, and I'm trying to nurse it along as best I can. They've been in these for like a week and a half, and they're not dead yet, so whatever. We'll see what happens. These are blackberries I pulled up when we did some work in the blackberry patch. There's one in there too. I like this. I mean, it's made out of junk out of my yard and recycled screws. Some of these screws I've reused several times. Some are out of my old fence. A lot of this wood is out of our old fence and just stuff that was here when we bought the property. This old wood, like these things, were behind the shed when we moved in. They had old fence posts that had broken over the years, and they just stashed them because they still had wood fence posts back then. So yeah, I put it together super ugly style. Come on, give me a hookup on that, you guys. Yeah. What do you think? You know why? Because I didn't care. I put it together like this, and then I just attached it like that, and bam! And I just did it. And I don't plan it, I just do it. And as you can see, the cover is working wonderfully. I know that looks terrible. I don't have a piece of plastic right now. We are in a pandemic. I don't know where to get a nice piece of plastic cheaply, or have I ever thought of it whenever I might have. Excuse me, stupid airplane. Excuse us while we take a pause for commerce. Anyway, so yeah, it ripped in one of the rainstorms because we had hail, about that big of hail out here. It did bust through this a little bit, but I put it back together, and that's just to keep it from immediately washing out the plants. If it's pouring down rain, we have emptied this off once when we thought it was going to be really bad. So yeah, oh, and she started a whole nother set of seeds. Look what we got. So in the back, we've got some oregano coming up. And I can't tell you what type of oregano or anything on some of these things. Dill is just dill as far as I'm aware. Peppermint being peppermint, not any other kind of mint. Rosemary is hard to, there's a few seeds that are hard to get going. Rosemary and sage not as much, but rosemary definitely is harder. We got like one little plant there. We do have some sage, and sage is really cool. The white sage, I think, is what we're growing. It smells like menthol, it's weird. Parsley, that has been very hard for us to sprout. This is the first time we've ever gotten parsley to sprout in our lives. Thyme is starting to come up again, a little bunches, and then some spinach. It's a little late for it again. More dill, all separated again. Those are rosemary. That's why I say they're difficult to deal with. Those have been, since they sprouted in like February, this is as big as they are, and there's more than those. There's like 6 of them, like some right there. And again, guys, that's as big as they've gotten since February, but they're still alive. Oh, that's that white sage. Woo. Smells like menthol. It's great. Purple opal basil, giant basil, sweet basil, bunch of bell peppers. One kind of bell pepper, poblanos, and a mild jalapeno. Yeah. Still got some squash plants. Look at this. Well, they've been sitting here for a minute, as you can see, and there's flowers on them that already expended themselves. I need to get them in the ground. Watermelons over here. You can see watermelon vines. We got lots of stuff ready, still ready to go. So let's take a spin around. I have finally gotten black soldier flies out of there. That was awesome. My reptiles, I'm tired of buying crickets. And I'm waiting to feed them those things. We have done a lot of work in some respects. I don't even remember what all I last showed you in the last video. I'm not going to get any kiwis this year because the male never flowered. So the female flowers that did happen, they just burned off, and there's some in the back right back here. You can see some flowers. And it looks like a little fuzzy kiwi in the middle, but it can't be because there's no male flowers to pollinate it, so it's not going to set a fruit. So that's kind of sad. But this is the back garden. I don't even know what we call this, the Blackberry Garden that we turned over to a vegetable patch. Some of the seedlings that we had over on the machine, this is some of those. And we planted them. I hit them with a little, be honest with you, a little Miracle Grow because I ain't got time to wait. And that was right back when I first put them in the ground. They sprung up. We've got irrigation run under each one of these, just one strip one under each. We haven't even dug holes or put anything in there yet. But my little irrigation system I'm trying to put in, it's a hodgepodge. I don't know any way better than what I'm trying, guys. So this is not done. This is gonna have 2 of these actually, and it's gonna look a lot prettier than that. I still have all my parts and stuff where I'm working on it. Yeah, I got a mess going. But as you may be able to see, that's blackberries turning red. Right. And they're starting to throw out more flowers because I'm keeping water now because I have a water line right in the middle of that. So you see that black hose going through there, snaking through. There's some more flowers coming out. And there's more blackberries over here, turning red and getting ready to be black. There's one that's black right here, I think. Well, there you go. Something got the tip of it probably. I can see if I can spin it around. Y'all see it better than me. But yeah, so a little bit of consistent watering. We will start getting better results out of all of this because now I have water everywhere. There's a water strip there. We're going to cut that. You can see some flowers. Let's see if I can make it zooms. This is a phone, I'm sorry. And it's not an expensive one. I think that's zucchinis. And then over there, that's going to be cantaloupes. I think so. And then that's like spaghetti squash. That's watermelon. It's got the classic watermelon leaves. And then there's another, that's a zucchini, spaghetti squash. Let me try to zoom back in. And then at the end is, that little sad one is 2, that's actually 2 vines, 2 cantaloupes. And I don't know why, they don't seem to do so hot. I mean, they're growing good, they look good, they're just not doing like, boom, exploding. Like this guy's about to reach the fence already. And you can see they're reaching for stuff that ain't there. So we'll see. The cherries was a bum year. I didn't see a single cherry on it. I saw 1 or 2 that were like aborts. Okay, so Hank over here, I want you to notice. Okay, can you see Hank? I see his little head. See what he's looking at? Oh, yeah, my dirty fingernail. Ew, edit. Anyway, you see Hank's head looking straight up? He's watching that squirrel. There it goes. It just took off running. That squirrel's up there screaming at him. And Hank's watching him. Oh, there he goes. The chase is on. Let me back it out. There's a squirrel, and Hank is back there like, my dude, come on out. Yeah, yikes. The irrigation lines run over here. Cherries didn't do good. Irrigation line run over here. I thought I was going to run two things together. I had to split that back off, but I have some drip emitters in my citrus trees now. Yay! I do have some baby citrus. Oops, I'm bumping stuff. These are oranges, the navel orange, Washington navel orange, I guess is what it's called. Some of these don't look that great. I mean, like they're a little yellowy, but it gets real hot over here. And you can see it. There was a lot more flowers in this, so this is what stuck after everything fell off. Oh, all these have already went white with flowers, and then it's already passed. So this is one of the little cuties, the satsumas. See, that thing just fell off of my fingers when I touched it. But some of the fruit look like they just got set more or less. But then I can see back here behind it, there's a much larger fruit that is pretty obviously set, but it doesn't mean they all are, right? And I don't know if that's because they flowered at different times. But you see different sized ones right there, and this will probably pop off. Well, maybe it won't. I'll just be gentle with it, but if it pops off, it's going to pop. I don't like getting my hopes up. So I'll make them pop off real quick. More oranges. I have the avocado hiding back there still. The Meyer lemon flowered the most massively, but I don't think it set a lot of fruit. It's definitely set 30 or 40, but it was set up a lot more flowers this year than that. The avocado is starting to grow backwards this way. Is this thing still zoomed in some? Yeah, okay. You can see it spread it out all along there. So it's got some yellow leaves, but I'm leaving them on there because avocados have sensitivity for the trunks burning and getting scorched. When they're green like that, it takes time or years for them to get brown. That's not brown, that's actually a burn right there. You can see how it turns green because it's an old scorch. So I'm leaving all old leaves on because it helps shade the trunk. And again, I have it behind these two big trees in the front to give it some dappled light so that the trunks don't get burnt so much in the direct sun. Another one of the satsumas, it's starting to grow a little bit better. The rootstock's flushing really good. I was going to try to grow those. This key lime is looking really good. It's responding to being watered more regularly with the drip system. And the system isn't done. It's still blowing the ends off and stuff, so don't consider it done. But it is definitely helpful. I can just set a timer and go, except that it blows the hose off the end sometimes. The blueberries are kind of ripening up. I'm afraid, because it hit 90 something today, and it's, again, direct sun all the way across this sky all day long. It just cooks the berries. At some point in the day, the berries look like they shrivel a little, like they're losing water, right? And the plant just can't keep up with it. You can see I got the hose in there. I know it's moist in here. If I take my dry fingers, which are going to be dirty again when I do this, and I run my fingers in there, you'll see that it's moist. I don't even have to guess. I can just tell. All right, so now I'm hitting the soil right there. I'll just bring some up. I mean, that's not wet, but that's not dry. You know what I'm saying? That's good moisture. And these leaves are keeping it up under there like that, even though it's dry up here. So I think it's just a struggle of the direct sunlight. One of the things is that we know that this is a female mulberry now. You know, it's producing fruit, so that's great. So this is going to be saved, and as you can see, there's some of the fruit right there, little mulberries. And it don't matter what they look like, it's a female, that's all that matters. We're going to let her grow. She's going to blow out real big and hopefully fill up this area, and I can create some sort of afternoon direct sun hit blockage right there. So that's what we're hoping for anyway. The cilantro's gone the seed almost all the way. As you can see, this is all what they call coriander, I guess. We don't use it for a spice. It's just really pretty out here, and it smells good. But there's thousands upon thousands of cilantro seeds. Thousands upon thousands. They're all set. Like this whole bush head is all just cilantro seeds. Like, I don't know if they had any kind of grain value, that'd be cool. But I don't know. I haven't ever delved into it. So the blueberries are doing all right. I still don't know if that's a male or female yet, so we're letting the twisted tree, the twisted metal tree, live. As you can see, it's the one with the awesome trunk. Or got hit by a weed whacker years ago, survived it. Yeah, that's an interesting. Some more sunflowers coming up. Oh, this thing, he put on so many flowers this year. So many flowers on the pomegranate. Most of those flowers, the vast majority of those flowers. Ooh, is that squirrel right here? I just heard him scream. Oh yeah, I'm right here by the squirrel and the dog. Most of the flowers are right here on the ground. And the light, I'm losing the light, so I'm trying to go a little bit faster, but it's sad. I don't know if it's the wind. Some of them look like they start to set a fruit, and bloop, and there's dozens of flowers down here. You just can't really tell, but there's dozens of flowers still on the tree. And look, oh my goodness. I don't know if we're about to see a tragedy or something awesome. Come on, squirrel, run and go home. Just go down the damn finish line so you can get away from Hank. Go, run, come on, get on, Skippy. Come on, Skippy. Get out of there, boy. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. You got it. Go. Ready, go. Ready, go. Oh, you chicken crap. Oh, well. All right, he's going to sit there and scream at us. And Hank's just waiting now. Hank just killed a baby rabbit earlier today, and he buried it in that box. I saw him. Oh, my goodness, that's a whole nother story. But, so the pomegranates. These things hardly ever set fruit. I've always said that. They just don't set very readily. This one looks like it might be set, right? We'll see. Sometimes they look like that, and they'll pop right off sometimes when you touch them. And if they were set, they wouldn't pop right off. Like that one. Boom, so I touched it, it fell off. It's not set. It's not swollen at the base. When I think that they're setting, I think that they start to swell, as you can see. Like there's doing some things, but you'll find some of those down here too. I mean, the ground is littered with these things. So, yeah. That's the other one that's coming back after 4 or 5 years, 6 years almost. Can you just run? Bro, just run. Hank, golly. So some of the tomatoes we have in the ground. We have 8 Cherokee purples because I want so desperately to have some Cherokee purple tomatoes. We've had them like once or maybe twice. We had a little bit each off of a small one we grew. Both times we had to grow what we had. And that was the most tasty, meaty, tasting tomato I've ever had in my life. And I just so determined I'm going to have them. But she was like, please plant some of the other stuff too. And I'm like, all right, bet. So what we end up with is 4 and 4, this side and this side of Cherokee purples. I think she slid one in on me because I'm not sure that's a Cherokee purple over there at the end, but we'll see. And I did run the new irrigation line down there. It's up under here somewhere, but it's up under here. And I don't have it connected to anything yet, but I do have the hose ran and hung up on our new garden arch that I put together real quick one day with some of the old cement wire we used to use in here. Oh my goodness, I can hear that squirrel screaming. Do something about it. Or get off the pot, sir. Ooh, I just caught 2 stink bugs making sweet, sweet love. See, those are an enemy. Those are leaf-footed stink bugs. I'm going to grab those with my bare hands. It's going to stink, but I'm going to smash them on the ground. Shake them like dice. Throw them on the ground, stomp them. Yeah. There you go. Hey, they didn't get me. Oh, my goodness. I got them. All right, pair mating it. I grabbed them loosely, hardly cupped them, kept them shaking. Boom, throw them down hard, stomp the mess. Perfect, worked great. I just took out a breeding pair of leaf-footed stabber killer bugs. So anyway, the tomatoes are looking good. We're really liking the new plastic. It's way better than that other stuff we had. Even if this ain't the best stuff, it's not going to do what that mess right there is. There's the old stuff. So the old stuff, even when it was brand new, okay, even when this was brand new from Home Depot, you could put your finger through it just like that. I mean, I can sit here and tear it apart with one hand. I can just put my fingers through it. All right, it was like that from Home Depot. You couldn't put your hands through this. You could use this to jail people. You ain't just gonna just tear through it. You're not just gonna do it. So, you know, that's a lot better. I hope my finger wasn't covering up the mic hole. So that's where we're at on there. This kale is still holding on, coming up on a year, probably longer. We have let the chickens get in. I can see the chickens have been grazing, or maybe the rabbits have been grazing, and that's where the dog just got. Because the dog just killed a rabbit in here just today, sadly. Still trying to solarize the new permanent herb garden, if you will. We want to do perennials, things that you don't ever have to plant again, right? In a permanent setting across the backs. You get what I'm meaning, and different things. Rosemaries, whatever other things I got over there. I'm just thinking I have off the top of my head. But then you still allow for having some rows if you wanted to do rows of things that were in some sort of production if we were able to sell it in the future, like basils or whatever. People are looking for something that we can grow for them. Because that is something I want to get into, is growing stuff for people. Well, I mean, before the apocalypse started, okay? Let me just qualify that. My idea, before I knew that there was a different kind of need, that was my idea, you know. I got this land, I have this passion, I have this ability. I just need somebody who wants me to grow something for them. If you leave it up to me, I'm just going to throw stuff everywhere, right? Look, look, look. I'm just throwing stuff everywhere. Yeah, that's on my mess. That's my cardboard. It's supposed to go under the plastic to help kill off the weeds and stuff. But anyway, yeah, you leave it up to me, I'm just going to throw stuff everywhere. So I need, like, somebody want to buy hops, right? Do I need to build a special 18-foot hops trellis to do something like that? Special herbs or anything like that? Now, the apocalypse-y thingy, whatever's going on, changes the tone and the demeanor of that whole situation, I guess. That squirrel is just going to sit here and hang out and do this all night. All right. I guess he's riding with us. I could show you the trees. There's not much to show. I did use a lot more of this wood up on that new project of building that guy out, who's a lot bigger now. Try not to bounce this phone. I know I'm bad about that. Makes it hard to watch. This is all sunflowers coming up in the yard. Just a carpet back this away. Everything else is looking good. All I do is go around and collect the fruit that falls off of here. Completely getting tore up with plum curculios again. Every one of them will have these bites, and you break it open and there's a maggot inside. But my best defense right now is this was a bad year for pollination. There was hardly any fruit on these trees to begin with. And so because of that, there's a lot less of it on the ground for me to have to go around and find. I get these, I double bag them, I get them out of my house and throw them away in like double bags and then in the trash bag, so they don't, you know, come out of my trash somehow magically. You big, just go, bro. Hey, squirrel and a moon and a plum tree in one view. Awesome. Suburbia right there, huh? And Hank's just watching them. You're a killer, Hank. Don't push you. Just got my irrigation in right there. Sprays across, worked pretty good. Still got Asian pears, guys. I don't know. Yeah, I know the light's eating real silly bad right now. I just wanted to see if I can catch the last couple things so I can cut this off in almost 20 minutes. Asian pears. I don't know how I'm getting past the buyer blight for the moment. I say that with hesitation because I thought I was getting by it 1 year. And I didn't, but I got to tell you, I've sprayed this probably more than is recommended. But it's copper. It doesn't seem to hurt the plant, but I've got fruit, gosh darn it, and that's all I'm worried about. And I don't know, hey, if that beats it, and my apples too. I cut the apple back. I'm going to do the other one this way, so I'm going to try to keep these really low so I can manage them with that copper. Oh, he's freaking out with me coming over here. So there are apples on the trees. Nice little clusters of apples. I know the light's going bad. I do apologize, but I wanted to show you real quick. Boop, some more apples. Boop. Now that wound, that's what those curculios do. I don't know if the curculios are going to attack these, but I do have apples in clusters all over, and I don't see a lot of that disease. I have had to pick off like 2 little things in certain on 1 or 2 of these trees. So far, fingers crossed, guys, I might actually get some fruit out of this. So these could become a success where I might end up never getting anything out of the plums, but as long as I can spray copper, I could maybe get my pears. That would be, I'd take that. That one got hit with something. Anyway, I'm losing the light, guys. I'm gonna let y'all go. I hope y'all are doing good in this pandemic. Let's see if I can get some light on this for one last thing. The figs coming up on the plant. See, I'm trying to get a backlight so you can see them. Bang, big old figs. Look here, bang, bang, figs. All right, you guys. One last look around. I hope everything is working out for you guys. Start planting some seeds, doing like we're doing something. Oh yeah, that's where our baby chickens are roosting, up under these chairs. We have a little mini fridge on a couple of bar chairs that are kind of pushed together, and there's all those stools under there. So I kind of put a little shield on one side, and now they roost up in there. Just while they're brooding until they get big enough to go out in the big yard and go. They stay out there by themselves. They go in by themselves. They're such good little chickens. Why are y'all so stinking good little chickens? They don't even make no sense. I don't even like you, okay? All right, anyway, we love them. We'll talk to you guys soon.